This might just look like a 17-litre bucket, and of course it is. However, inside is something really exciting. What we have here is the innovative, patented Trakker Pureflo bait filter system. Now check this out. Now the idea for the Pureflo system actually came from a great friend of the Trakker team, a chap called Clive Williams. He initially developed a product that would separate liquids from particles, and that's essentially where this product idea has come from. However, it can be used to separate any bait and any liquid in a clean and easy manner. Okay, let's go through some of the key uses for the Pureflo system. First up, particle baits. If you're cooking up your own particles at home, what do you do with the liquid once you've actually cooked your particles up? This has always been a nightmare in the past of how you strain it off or drain it off. With the Pureflo system, it's dead simple. You allow it to cool, you pour it in, and then you can actually lift, twist and stack the system to separate your particles from the water. Now, this water is full of goodness and oils that could be either frozen for use at another time or even used to rehydrate other baits. Next up, let's talk about boilies. What a great big carp bait. Certainly a favourite of mine. Several options with the Pureflo system. Firstly, washing your boilies out with lake water. The system is perfect for that. Boilies in, lake water in, drain them off and use them. It's a great tactic. Air-dried boilies, rehydrating them either with lake water or oils or water. Those particles that you cooked up earlier on, you've now got a use for that liquid. Simply reapply it to your baits in the system. Finally, glugging boilies with oils and liquids. Again, another great tactic, and the great thing with this system is you can apply the bait with your oils and liquids, and because of the sump at the bottom, you can drain it off and reuse it. Pellets, another great carp bait. Couple of options for you here. Pellets into the system, pour warm water over them. Now that will actually kick-start the breakdown and the release of the attractors. Obviously, if you leave them a little bit longer, then you're on your way to a softer mix, which is perfect for balling up or for use with a method feeder. Okay, I've talked about some of the key application uses for the Pureflo system. Let's actually take a look at the product. Now, if I flip it this way around, you can actually see the drainage vents at the bottom. Now, this is the key attribute of the system, because it's these drainage vents at the bottom which actually allow any liquids or water to drain through the system when it's actually been lifted, twisted and stacked on top of a 17-litre bucket. Now, you'll also notice there are 4 sump feet here at the bottom. Now, these are perhaps of most relevance when you're actually glugging baits with oils, because it allows the system to sit off the bottom of the bucket so it's not pressed down. So if you are letting liquids run through, it will collect in the bottom of the bucket and then you can reuse them. Now, if I flip it up this way, we've got this retracting handle. Obviously, that's of use when you actually lift the system out of the bucket and then it simply drops down into position out of the way when it's not in use. Okay, when the product's actually in the stack position like it is here, this is when it's in the ideal form to actually use in session when you're fishing. So, for example, if you're using mixed particles, lift, twist, stack, the water drains through, then you've just got free access to the particles without all of the water. So you can either spod or spom your bait out, and then you're not encountering all the other liquid that essentially at this stage you don't need. Now, once you're done putting your bait out and you've still got bait remaining in the system, you can simply just drop it back in. So all of the goodness in the liquids, it just keeps your bait rehydrated. And this is exactly the same when you're using boilies, either if you're washing them out or if you're glugging them. Use the bait that you need and then plunge it back into the bucket. Now, the Pureflo system is designed to be used in conjunction with a Trakker 17-litre bucket. Because the buckets are airtight, it's going to avoid any spills. So in transportation or storage, you've got no worry about your bait spilling out. Secondly, because the bucket's got a lid, birds, rodents, squirrels, they can't get to your bait. So really important, it's the last thing that we want. And finally, because of the construction of the Pureflo system and all of the Trakker buckets, if you want a longer term storage solution, you can actually put the product into your freezer. So there you have it. That's the Pureflo bait filter system, 17-litre. I'm sure you'll agree. There's a multitude of uses for many baiting situations. And remember, lift, twist and stack.